I really, really love The Bear. It's very good, very well scripted.
Io Debris is
and
essentially
much more
the
pleasant.
second lead, isn't she?
Yeah, oh, she's so incredible. I love her so much.
Irish royalty.
Irish royalty,
Io
exactly.
Debris.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes, we love her.
Hello, everybody, and you are very welcome to episode 11 of the Green Room podcast. That's right, we're kicking things all the way up to 11. I am your host, Colin Regan, and joining me today are two wonderful guests, Bláithín de Burca and Dermot Ward. You can say hi, guys. It's also an audio medium.
You still haven't
Hello.
included an applause gap there, no?
Well, no.
That is really interesting. It's just like because we're in this particular office that I did just go straight for just camera and forgot that we are doing a podcast, which is funny because I've had podcasts. I know how to do those.
I mean, it's a visual
visual
podcast
medium,
also.
but it's
Visual
also an
medium.
audio medium.
Plus, if you're going to clip it, you're not necessarily going to clip that part where it's us saying hi.
That's as good as it's going to get, so tough.
Bláithín, your first time on the podcast, and Dermot is our first returning guest.
I'm the first returning
Oh,
guest.
yes.
Wow.
We got to guest number 22 and went, we should probably get with something we've already had before.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I insisted on it
Oh,
because I want to squash the beef, you know.
sure.
This is why we called both of you
Yes,
in here.
yeah.
Things have been happening for quite some time, and it is time that you do squash the beef.
It's been 10 years of constant just name shaming. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Sorry.
It is weird. We've never had a fight. Considering, because like I would say you're one of my closest friends on the channel. I haven't fought with anybody, but it is funny. It's weird that we haven't had like a falling out of any kind.
I'm offended at that. You haven't had a fight. You haven't had a fight with me. This is ridiculous. I'm offended that we've never fought.
Oops! Hey, it's never too late. But yeah, even a quarrel.
Sure.
I think you've had probably many heated conversation, but just not fighting.
Oh, yeah,
You've
that's
probably
not
been.
fighting.
That's what I mean. You've probably just been like, no, I think this is the greatest movie of all time. Blah, 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 blah. But it's not fighting.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not fighting about like I think you're a piece of shit.
It is true that like no matter what Dermot is saying, it sounds like he's arguing. Like even if he's like, no, I don't feel good about myself either. You know, he is just like constantly arguing with you. If you try to give Dermot a compliment, then that's an argument.
He's like, Mad Max Fury Road is one of the best films of all time, and you're like, I agree. Why are we stop? Just quiet down, man.
I think the closest we have come to a fight is over who's sadder.
Sure.
In a moment, like you say, how are things going with you? I'm not great, blah, blah, blah. Oh, same here. Well, no, I think I'm a bit worse off than you are there. Like,
It's really saying a lot, but hate to break it to you, buddy, I wouldn't argue with you on that.
that's maybe the best thing that's ever happened to
actually,
me.
probably the
Competitive sadness.
Yeah.
What's news with you? Law, would you like to start with you?
Sure, absolutely. Since Dermot has dissociated, trying to think of any bit of news.
What the problem with this question for me is it's like I am every time 15 minutes before every therapy session. I'm like, what has happened to me since I last spoke to my therapist? And it's like I can't remember. I literally can't remember where I am right now. I cannot remember anything that's happening.
I'm glad actually that I do have this forum to air it on because I'll make it very short. In terms of squashing the beef, I think I might have like some flower beef with a neighbour at the moment. Okay. So there's an elderly neighbour of mine that when I first moved in a year and a bit ago, that she kind of like made herself known as the local busybody, but I adore her. She sounds very like my nana, who has sadly passed, and she reminds me of her in that she is a busybody. And and there was one time that she saw me coming home and she goes, oh, I was wondering where you are, I never see you. And I'm like, I don't owe you that. Like, we don't know it. You're not we're related to me. So, but there was another time that she came around and she goes, you know that I'd never like to be saying anything bad about people. The most delicious sentence that's ever been said. Like, I don't hate her at all. She takes in my packages for me. She watches the house even though I haven't asked her to. You know, things like that. So I was walking home recently. I had some flowers on my window ledge, in my window box, that an ex had gotten for me and that I had kept alive despite our thing being dead. We've had some, heat waves recently, so it's gotten very, very warm. Anyway, the flowers died, okay? And then the flowers died, and to be honest, my house, I'm renting. It's shit looking anyway. So I wasn't like, oh, I'm in this huge rush to replace the flowers. Yeah. But I had intended to replace the flowers. And one day I'm coming home and I see a note on a lamppost. And it says, hi neighbours, wouldn't it be nice if we all kept the outside of our houses looking nice and everything like that? And so, if your flowers on your window ledge are dead, take them in, maybe replace them. And I was like, I have ADHD, demand avoidance, and don't tell me what to do. I'm a bratty sub, okay? So I was like,
Also, it's your place.
Yeah,
it's like you could do whatever you want.
Yeah,
you could do or not do
Yeah.
whatever you want to your own place.
So anyway, I went home. I did bring the dead flowers in. I was like, okay, I'm still gonna replace them, but I'm not in a rush or whatever.
Yeah.
A few days later, someone's put some flowers out there. I'm like, oh no. Anyway, long story short, if I had the time and the will to turn this into a Joe Lycett style War of the Flowers, back and forth, like lamppost notes, etc., make her go crazy. If I didn't love her, it turned.
So just for the record, the note and the new flowers was your neighbour.
They were indeed my busybody neighbour. Like, it's nice. I'm sure that she thinks that it's a nice gesture, but it is also a control thing, you know? If she gave you a gift, she'd get mad at you for not sending a thank you card.
Sure.
Kind of thing, you know? So I offered to pay her back, and she was like, no, sure, do it for everyone. And I was like, okay, well, look, just don't expect me that I'm going to be out there every day. So it was like, I'm very busy. I don't come out of my house every day. I'm a very sad woman. I'm busy crying. Maybe I could use the tears.
You're watering your face. I'm too busy watering your face.
I'm too busy watering my face that day.
I'm sorry that I pulled my mouth away from the mic so that it wasn't clear that I was laughing at her saying I'm very sad, and then remember there's cameras.
So it was documented.
Yeah, I found that hilarious.
You find it very
you're
funny,
con 4K
but I'm
there.
sad. So that's and I'm really glad, because I was like, if I had the time, I'm so stressed at work, I've got so much on. And also I do like her, and she's just like an old woman that's just, she's trying
like, on one hand it is just like sort of like harmless to be like, oh, I just got these, but it's also like, well, I'm not asking you to do it, and it's like, and then also you're sort of putting the thing of like, oh, now I have to look after this and da. So it's just like, it would just be better to be like, hey, not do that.
But it would be fun if I had the time.
Dermot, what's your news? I mean, you did say that, you're a bit like, oh, what have I done?
You know when you were in school.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing immediately?
Because you
can tell them about the vamp?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Is this what you did in your therapy session as well?
This is all I do in my therapy session.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get down to what's really affecting you, Dermot. I'm like, yeah, but let me go on this riff first.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel?
Really uncomfortable now that you ask. But when you're in school?
Yes.
Or when you were in school?
Correct.
You were sitting next to a kid, and the kid goes, oh man, I hope she doesn't give us that test today because I didn't study at all or anything like that. and I'll be like, yeah, I did none. And then the person next to me will be like, yeah, neither did I. And then they do the test, and the person has been studying for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And I said, but you said you hadn't been studying. And they say, oh no, yeah, I only did like 3 hours instead of the usual 5. I'm like, I said I did nothing because I did nothing. So when people ask me, hey, what's new with you? And got anything going on in your life? And I said, no. They're like, yeah, me neither. It's like, no, I have nothing going on in my life. Which camera? This one? I have nothing going on in my life.
Well, that's not true, because, well, it'll be over by the time this goes out.
Do you have notes on what's going on in my life?
Yes, I've been following you for the past 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
Didn't have to follow me. I have my own flower drama. So
I've actually been planting flowers everywhere that you've gone. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Nice.
I genuinely thought someone was stealing those from
lovely.
graves and leaving them at my doorstep as a sort of little threat.
Oh my God, imagine when you were like, just to clarify, so it was your neighbour that left the note on the pole and it was your neighbour that left the flowers. Imagine me saying yes really annoyed you because it was actually you. You're like, I can't believe she took credit for my planting.
What a wagon. No, what I was going to say is it'll be over by the time this goes up, but obviously you're watching the World Cup.
That's literally all I'm doing right now. Literally all I'm doing. But yeah, I'm watching the World Cup. I've been watching a lot of football. I like it. I like the old kickball football thing.
Sport ball,
it's about the only sport I like. So that's been fun.
I was in a bar a while ago and they had on the big screen, it was like, it's a proper like old man pub near me. On big screen, it had the match, Ghana and Great Britain.
England.
Oh, sorry. So one of the things that happened was that you're at the bar, you're kind of looking, everybody's looking, all these old men are looking at the screen, and so they're kind of like, while I'm waiting for my drink, they're not making conversation, but they're kind of like looking, who am I looking at? And I went, I don't really follow football, but I know who we're up for. And this old man goes, what? And I went, I don't really like football, but I know who we're supporting. And he goes, oh yeah. And I went, yeah, I don't know football, but I know my history. And he was like, oh, that's very good. That's very good. Ghana, by the way. Ghana would be who we're going for. The other thing that I really, really loved was football on the massive screen, and on a smaller screen just over the bar, the chase.
Well, yeah.
Just in case.
You have to double screen while the World Cup is on.
You gotta double screen.
Yeah, you're not gonna miss the chase or countdown.
Nobody
Come
was
on,
watching the
Jesus.
chase except for me.
I love that everyone's in the pub while the chase is on as well, because that's a daytime show.
Yeah.
I do like the idea. It's just like people there watching the World Cup, and then it's just like one guy who's just like, capital Botswana. It's Gaborone. Yeah, come on, Gaborone.
That's really impressive that you knew that.
I only knew that because of a David O'Doherty song.
I thought it was on your notes there.
No, it's
No,
not.
this just says follow Dermot, plant more flowers.
It must have been awful for you to follow me for 3 weeks to see what was going on in my life. It must have bummed you
Yeah,
out.
Colin, now we're all sad.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh my
that.
God.
Now it means that you also don't have much going on in your life, Colin.
You were in therapy going, I feel better about myself now because I saw Dermot for the last 3
Like
weeks.
a great TV show. It's like, what? And then Nathan Fielder is this. Like, it'd be fantastic. It would be
Don't
really
give him
good.
ideas. He would do that. Big Nathan Fielder fan.
I'm the one that makes television.
Well, yeah, well, actually, yeah. You
I can make this happen.
pitched a blow there. Hey, Colin, what's going on with you?
Great question, Dermot. Well, much like yourself, I actually don't have much that I've done other than the fact that we've just wrapped a week of filming. So we've been
that's
filming.
loads.
Well, it's just more like I haven't been out to do much stuff because we've just been filming and working. So getting more videos in the can, more podcasts in the can. This one you're watching right now. Yeah, so I've just been doing that, and they'll be back to the old editing cave for Colin.
I'm also very, very busy at work, and that's kind of about it. The flower thing is my main. I was like, wow, what a treat to have drama. Because like there is drama, but it's a kind of work. You get sick of yourself saying like I'm so stressed at work and like I'm busy. So it was nice to have a little kind of trifling.
A trifling is sorry. Sorry.
Is that wrong? Is that incorrect?
No. I was going to make it into a tri-fling.
Ah.
It's going to do a whole thing.
We'll wait till after.
We'll wait till after.
Okay.
But hey, isn't it nice that you got your flowers?
I got my flowers. I would have liked an actual award.
Hey, you got a award
Hey, you
right
got a
here.
award right here, eh? Hey?
I don't want that one. Can I send it back? I don't turn up to accept it. I send somebody else in my stead. Someone you hate, your sworn enemy. Who? I don't know. Who would be your
Who's my sworn enemy?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
No! How dare you?
On that note, whatever note that was, that wraps up the first segment of the podcast. And we'll be right back after this. And welcome back to part 2 of our wonderful little podcast. What we're going to be doing for part 2 is we're all going to discuss our TV show Mount Rushmores. Before the show, we've all selected 4 of our top TV shows, and we're all going to discuss them and debate them, and I guess see who's right or who's wrong, who is the best Mount Rushmore.
An interesting thing that happened here is that we were kind of chatting a little bit before we started recording, and Dermot was like, oh, that's where I definitely have had a think about that. I know them. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I have a few. I probably have too many. I don't know which ones to choose. And then Dermot was like, oh, yeah, and at least ours will be different. And I was like, sorry, come again? Like, what? Why do you think that?
Mine are quite nerdy and geeky.
Okay, I suppose that you would go for, yes, very, very good.
Oh, no, they're still
TV.
good. They're still good. They're still really good. But
Yeah,
like,
I suppose they're not going to be like mainstream.
oh, no, they're definitely mainstream. They're
Right,
completely
well,
mainstream. Yeah.
It's going to be the exact same list, man.
Maybe
Hold
not.
on.
You know,
There have been literally bajillions of TV shows.
it's your personal Mount Rushmore. Do you know what I mean? So it's ones that you would pick to you. Like, so just it's not you're picking a broad spectrum of the general public. It's
Sure.
like it's what speaks the most to you. You know, so easily could be different for all 4 of us.
When you say it that way, like that does make me kind of want to change some, because I'm like, okay, maybe Married at First Sight is in there.
Do you want time to change your things, or would you want to go first?
I'm just gonna say about 8.
I'll just say 8 shows, and you just edit into 4 of them. You just
Whatever.
pick whatever.
I've decided to deface 2 different mountains.
Right. Well, Bláithín, you can go with your TV Mount Rushmores.
I think obvious Succession, like obviously.
You see, because the last time we saw each other, I was talking about how I just finished Succession, and I hadn't finished
No,
Succession.
you
I
have
was in the middle
finished
of it.
a Succession.
Hey-o!
As an Ian Lynham joke, please don't put me
Hey-o.
in without crediting my friend Ian.
I have not seen Succession, but I hear that it's great. I hear it's basically like Arrested Development, but a drama. Like,
And hilarious as well.
obviously, Arrested Development is like primarily a comedy first.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's funny things
I
in
think
Succession.
Succession
but it
is
just-
one of the
just
funniest
leads
shows
into-
ever. It's
yeah.
just like differently. It's not presented as such, and that's what makes it funnier.
It's a tragic comedy. I think I said it to both of you that I think it's like if Shakespeare wrote Arrested Development.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And that it's dealing with really high stakes stuff, and yet with just, but it's still very small family dynamics where they hate each other, but it's also hilarious, and you root for them even though they're terrible, and there's betrayal, and there's huge, like, it's a royal family type of situation, a modern type of royal family.
Like a modern family?
That show sucks.
Wow.
That's on my Mount Suckmore.
Can we do a Mount Suckmore? That sounds great.
Of course, you'd want to do a Mount Suckmore.
Exactly.
But Succession is not on my Mount Rushmore, even though I think it is one of the greatest things that's ever been made.
What's your number 2?
Number 2 is The Bear.
Another show I haven't seen. There's a lot of strong shows lately I haven't watched, because I tend to watch a lot more comedies and dramas, I guess.
Yeah, no, but The Bear is very funny
of course,
as well.
Of course,
and
it won all
hilarious.
those Golden Globes for best comedy.
Yeah, The Bear is funny, but in different ways, and it is also very like deep. I really, really love The Bear. It's very good, very well scripted. Also, it must be said, Will Poulter.
Oh, is he in it?
I will Poulter.
Will Poulter? I hardly know him.
I wish he'd say. I wish he wish Will Poulter would look at me and he would say, "Hi, I'll Poulter."
That was a long walk.
Yeah, but we got there in the end.
That's comedy.
I've only seen 3 episodes of The Bear. I started it and watched 3 episodes, and I was like, I'll get back to it, and just haven't.
It is a tough one because it is very intense. It's like it'll get you anxious.
I mean, I worked in a restaurant, so I wonder, like, if I watched it, am I going to get like PTSD? Like, I played the game Overcooked, which is literally a game where you just have to like.
That is stressful.
Yeah, you make little foods, but you have to do it in the right order and like serve things with the right foods. Me and Kelly were playing it. You have 3 minutes. Kelly's like, no, that needs tomato, that needs lettuce, and I'm like, games are meant to be fun. And I just full PTSD. So I'm sure if I watched The Bear, I would just be like, what the fuck's going on?
I've worked in hotels and they can get very, very like that. And it is stressful. And a little bit of season.
Especially if Jack Nicholson comes in.
Sorry, it took me so long to figure out what you were talking about.
I'm just letting the audience stop laughing before we keep going again.
Did he do a cameo in The Bear?
Nope.
No.
In a hotel.
Blah, what's number 3 on your TV show Mount Rushmore?
I'm going to say The Sopranos, and now see it's starting to feel a little bit male to me. Now, there are lots and lots of, like, in all of these, there's good, strong female characters, but none of them are female-led, and I'm starting to feel bad about that. But, like, the thing is, they're very good. They're very good shows, in fairness. The Bear has lots of female characters that are pretty much as important as Carmy.
Io Debris is essentially the second lead, isn't she?
Yeah, exactly.
Co-lead?
She's so incredible. I love her so much.
Irish royalty.
Irish royalty.
Io
Exactly.
Debris.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, we love her. But yeah, The Sopranos is very good. I only watched it for the first time a few years ago. This is the thing, because I've always been a TV gal. I really, really love television. It's kind of like I watch TV the way that people read. And people were always surprised that I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, I also
haven't
seen
seen
it.
it. You haven't seen
I love
it.
it, like all your shows. I'm just like, I haven't seen them.
It's so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
I know it's like prestige TV,
Yeah,
and it was
exactly.
like, obviously of the time, like that was event television. Everyone was watching it, and but not me.
I lost track of it, like, because I'm so old that I watched it as it aired when it started.
So
It started in 1999.
Do you remember how you felt when it ended?
No, see, this thing, I lost track of it. I lost track because I was watching it week to week. If I missed a couple episodes, I'm like, oh god, and then it's just
Because I get the impression when
out of sight, out of mind. But
I get the impression when people talk about it that it's almost like a Who Shot JR or a like Where Were You on 9/11 kind of thing, where everybody remembers how they felt when they saw it. Like the ending of it, it's a controversial ending. That's the most
this thing, I have seen the ending.
Yeah.
So the context of that ending, I may have missed like the last 2 or 3 seasons, and yet I still watched that last scene, and for some reason I was okay with it. I thought, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it is interesting. As someone who has left a lot of doors open in her life, I'm not good at closure at all. So I do understand people having a problem with it. But.
Yeah, sometimes when you watch something that is sort of maybe left open to interpretation or whatever, I enjoy those, because then you we see a certain movie or something that has an ending like that, you get to go, oh my god, what did you think happened? What did you get Shaba, rather than being like, yeah, it's good, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then you've got your friend being like, no, the Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
Spoilers for the movie Inception. But that ends in
Spoiler for that almost 20-year-old
I
film.
know, that ends, with a scene where it is left open to interpretation on what happens in the end. I remember I saw Inception 5 times in the cinema, and I saw it in Carlos Cinema. And I remember it gets to that final scene, and it's like you're waiting to see what happens, and then it just cuts to black, and then I remember just hearing a guy behind me just go, in like just a proper Carlo accent, go, "Sure, that's stupid. You don't know if he's awake or not."
No, but that's
And I was just
great.
like,
Wonderful.
That's great.
That's
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Here, listen, art is subjective,
What
so
happens?
that opinion is just as valid as any.
Of course.
I
Totally.
actually, I really like that.
Also, like, that moment as well, like you could hear a pin drop in that moment. Everyone's waiting for it, and then it's cut to black.
Ah,
and it's just,
Jesus.
yeah.
Jesus.
Just like,
Wait, they cut the end of the movie off.
oh man, what was that?
I think as well with The Sopranos, even though probably at the time maybe it was more left up to interpretation. I think by the time I watched it, it's kind of been agreed what it was.
I think David Chase has said what he intended with it, but also I don't want to know what he intends either. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
That's
okay with
true. That's true. Well, that brings me on to my fourth, which is Twin Peaks and The Good Wife. and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and
We'll give some honourable mentions at the end, but what's your...
yeah. Well, I suppose let's settle then on, because I was kind of between The Good Wife and Twin Peaks. Now, I only watched Twin Peaks for the first time last year. There's still bits of it that I don't get, but David Lynch has talked at length about how he doesn't want you to get it.
Yeah.
Like, he has an intention, he knows where he's going, but he doesn't want to tell you. And then I actually recently watched like a 4-hour long YouTube video that was like, it came with a disclaimer at the start that lasted like 10 minutes, which was like, I'm gonna tell you and it's gonna make sense, and then you're gonna be cursed with knowing. And so don't watch it if you don't want to know, if you want to keep up the David Lynch mystique.
Yeah.
David Lynch's answer to, elaborate on that, of course, he said, no.
No.
That's beautiful.
What is it about Twin Peaks?
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And as I said on a podcast recently,
Ken's.
I said, on Ken's podcast, I said it.
Ken Reid, shout out to Ken Reid, friend of the show.
TV Guidance Counsellor, great podcast, and
Really good
we've
podcast.
both been on it. As I said, Audrey Horne, I really love her character because she's a slut that concerns herself with justice, and that's what I am as well.
Slutty justice.
Slutty justice. That's
Now I want to pitch a show.
My nickname in law school.
Slutty Justice.
All rise for the dishonorable Slutty Justice.
Slutty Justice is a spin-off from Legally Blonde.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna make all of this happen.
This sounds
lads.
great,
I'm gonna
honestly.
make it all
I'm
happen.
fucking watch that. That's now on my Mount Rushmore before it's even made. Slutty Justice.
Slutty justice.
You're damn right, all are gonna rise if you know what I mean.
Twin Peaks, it's so weird.
Yeah.
And there's bits of it that are like, what? And then there's other bits that are like so silly and funny, and you're not meant to get it. There's bits that are like dark and scary that make you think. It's open to interpretation, but you can also watch it if you're not in the mood for interpreting anything. You can also just watch it and be like, that was a little weird little romp. Loads of trees, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I seen the first 2 seasons. I've not seen the film.
The Return. Have you seen The Return?
I haven't. As in, that's the few years
revival series,
the
which
revival
is 18
series.
episodes long, all directed by David Lynch.
Yes.
Episode 8 of Twin Peaks: The Return is, I've said this before, is genuinely one of the greatest pieces of art I've ever seen.
So here's the thing: I have not seen any of that. But when me and Sean and Kelly all lived together, Sean was like, "Oh, I'm just sitting down to watch some of the new Twin Peaks," and I went, all right, yeah, sure, I'll sit and watch that. And it was like episode 8, which I believe
It was episode 8,
which I believe starts with like 10 minutes of static, isn't it? And it's just that, and I'm just like, I was like, this isn't the Twin Peaks. I know. I was like, this is Twin Peaks.
Well, that's the mad thing. One of the reasons Twin Peaks is so interesting as the original series as well is because ABC, the TV network owned by Disney in America, family network, they hired David Lynch to create a nighttime soap opera.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he made Twin Peaks.
Yeah, and then he made Twin Peaks.
And it's
then
just...
That's
and
why season 2 isn't as good.
That's the thing. And the first season, it was like, oh yeah, we'll let you do what you want or whatever. And people are like, oh, this seems like a quirky little show. And then they're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
And then season 2 is like,
and then
there was
Bob shows
studio
up
involvement.
and everyone turns people to mush. And it's just...
And as well, what I will say about episode 8, because like you're not the first person that has said this to me. So, like, I guess my thoughts are twofold. Because first of all, I was there watching it and I was like, okay, I get it. Like it is art, okay? But I was like, I have too much ADHD for this. Like it's not. It's
No,
so
but that's-
slow.
but that's
and it's
why-
not going anywhere.
But that's the
and
thing. I
couldn't appreciate it.
But I felt that way. That's one of the reasons I call it one of the best pieces of art ever, is because that's how I felt watching it as well at times. And then at other times I was like, oh my God, I'm transfixed, and oh my God, I'm terrified, and oh my God, I'm laughing, and oh my God, I'm confused. I experienced everything watching that.
I definitely can appreciate it and get all the layers if I want to. But when I'm watching TV, I'm not necessarily there just for headgum, but I do want it to be entertaining.
No,
in a way
no,
that's like
totally.
not, I was like stressed. I was like, what's happening? But that's me admitting that maybe it's just that I'm too much of an idiot.
No. Again, that's why it's such great art, is because it made you, it affected you that much that you're like, I'm stressed.
Angry.
Yes, that's great art.
So did Jackass, whatever. Like,
Jackass is great art.
Jackass is pretty good.
Jackass is great art.
And I will say as well, just honourable mention to The Good Wife, because I remember when I was watching it, that because I grew up watching and loving law shows like Ally McBeal and stuff.
And Slutty Justice.
And Slutty Justice. No, it's still to come.
Oh, sorry.
She better. She demands it. It's part of her retainer.
That's the tagline.
But yeah, so I grew up on all of those and I loved them, and I grew up wanting to be a lawyer, and I think it's not only for that nostalgia element, but also I do think that, except for, there's obviously parts that are still misogynistic and also sometimes too girl boss for me, so there's
In The Good Wife.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I do think that it is a very good. I remember watching it when I was like in my teens. I had this thought where I was like, I'm watching something that hasn't necessarily been done this way before, and it's important. So even if it's not necessarily the best, it was very important TV for me, And The Good Fight is also good. I think it's probably better television, but The Good Wife is where I really had that moment. So honourable mention to that.
Nice.
Up the girls.
Very, very good. I mean, that's a very strong selection of shows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I haven't watched all of The Bear, so I can't really comment on that, but the other ones are great.
It's saying, like, I haven't seen the first three you mentioned, but like I'm aware that those are, like, again, prestige, like very well written, very well, highly regarded shows. So obviously I'm like, yeah, that's a worthy selection of Mount Rushmore TV.
I mean, if I did a silly one, it would probably be like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is absolutely brilliant. So there's that.
Dermot, time for your TV show Mount Rushmore.
Is there any crossover?
No, zero.
Nerd.
See, this thing, you're gonna. I don't know if you are gonna even like any of these shows, to be honest. Well, one of them you will, but
do you think we'll have crossover before you say anything?
possibly?
Probably.
Well, actually, no. Well, maybe one. But that's the thing. I generally didn't put much thought into this, and normally I have to with stuff this, because if someone asks me to list things, I'm like, well, I can't begin, because I can't commit to those four, because I'm going to think of more that I love, and how can I pick between them? And I'm going to freak out, and I'm going to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
But these ones just came to me immediately. First up, Lost.
Okay, never watched it.
I watched the first couple of seasons, but then I think at some point, kind of similar to your Sopranos thing, at some point I think I missed a few episodes, and then that was it. I never watched the rest of it.
I was obsessed with Lost, in that I was on fucking
Like chat rooms.
fucking forums and shit, like 100%. I learned more about theology and quantum physics than I will ever learn about anything else, just because of those forums and reading theories about what was going on in Lost.
That's cool.
Fucking love Lost so much. And another reason why this is easy for me is because if you talk about Succession, I love Succession so much. I thought it was an amazing show. Will I ever watch it by myself again from start to finish? Probably not. I've rewatched Lost several times from beginning to end.
Okay.
Several times.
That's interesting, because there's shows that I don't even really like that I rewatch. Like, I have to watch Breaking Bad every 5 years. And don't get me wrong, I do. I really like Breaking Bad, but I just, in terms of its representation of women, that's my problem with it. So I get angry every single time.
Is it the representation of women, or just the general public's reaction to the representation of women? As in, like, because Skylar's great. Skylar is fantastic.
And the public reaction, yeah, of course, she's incredible.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like, the other main woman in it, it's like her whole
Marie.
thing is, Marie, thank you. Her whole thing is she likes purple.
Can I ask, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but one of my honourable mentions, not on my list, but it would be an honourable mention, is Better Call Saul. Did you watch that?
Absolutely brilliant.
And Kim in that is one of the greatest characters ever. She's
Vince
incredible.
Gilligan is forgiven. Oh wait, Malcolm in the Middle. Stick that in there.
Sure.
But anyway, Lost, didn't that end up being controversial in the end, because it was kind of like they just lost the run of themselves?
Pun intended?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, damn it.
There was a whole
Wait,
thing.
I'll do it again.
No.
The showrunners insisted all along that they had a plan, and the showrunners were very good at teasing people along and stuff like that. And I do believe that they knew how to end it. They knew how it was going to end. They just didn't know how they were getting there. And so they made stuff up as they were going to get them there. And sometimes, so some little threads went off by the wayside. A lot of people complain about the ending and say, I still have questions about this. And like, one of the things that annoys me more than anything is like, people say, why are there polar bears on the island? It's like, that's explained in the first episode of season 2. It's just that they were doing experiments. So they answered almost everything on that show. Yeah. If you just watch the show, they answered almost everything. Don't say, it was stupid if you don't understand how it ended.
I feel like maybe one of the first shows where people's like media literacy was on highlight of like, maybe you didn't fully watch the show. Maybe you didn't fully actually take in. But also I get, it was a years long show, hard to remember every single second of it.
Only 6 seasons.
Only 6 seasons. Carlo Man was obviously.
Yes, exactly. Man, sure what? It's an island. Where are the polar bears on an island, man? Fucking stupid.
Great, but it had everything I love from genre storytelling. Like it was funny, it was scary, it had interesting mysteries, it was moving. It had everything for me. I absolutely loved it.
You're talking about Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly.
Kind of had a bit of everything and like made you feel a bit of everything.
It was much. It's much more palatable than Twin Peaks would be. Twin Peaks and Lost were both ABC shows.
Yeah.
Whereas
some little freak in the boardrooms there.
Yeah. But David Lynch is the type of person who would get angry if you asked him what it was about, or answer this mystery. Whereas David Lindelof and Carlton Cuse, who ran Lost, they were very much like, we want you to figure it out, or we want to give you the answers and everything like that. But so they were trying to cater to a large audience, whereas David Lynch didn't give a shit. So Lost is definitely up there. Then Buffy.
Yes, great.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Fab.
One of the greatest things that's ever been made.
I should rewatch that actually.
That's one that I've rewatched over and over again. You will, if you haven't already, you will despise Xander now.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go back and be like, Xander's the Ross of this.
Did you
thing.
This thing?
Why didn't I include Friends? Buffy, is that the problem with Xander? That it's kind of like he's toxic on the rewatch.
He's incredibly toxic on the rewatch, and
so I like him.
No, yeah, but
Xander, I hardly know.
Because Xander was like the funny one when you were watching it as a kid, as a teenager or whatever you were when you were watching it, and
okay, calm down.
But that's great. Rewatching it, you're seeing it in a totally new light, and it's holding up. Xander's character may not be who you thought he was, but that's still interesting.
Yeah. I should definitely.
It's great, and it went to places that other shows just weren't going to at the time, even though it was on the CW, which was essentially like a kids network, or a teen network. You know what I mean? And that was dealing with really interesting themes, and it still holds up, and it's just the best. And also, the first usage of Google as a verb was in an episode of Buffy.
Hold on to that. Put that in your pocket for your next trivia night.
Get me on, Ike Barinholtz.
Yeah. Was it Buffy or was it Charmed that had the Irish language bus?
That was Buffy. That was Buffy. Yeah.
There's a spell book where a leprechaun spell was Oscaga, but it just turned out that they had just gotten an update about the bus routes changing in a specific town that my friend is from.
No way.
I do like that in just any media in general, where they're just like, they won't know. Do this,
They don't get us in Ireland, like
the first Red Dead Redemption game. There's like a town that's meant to be like I guess like maybe the sort of Mexico border. That's a town called Escalera, which is like, that sounds amazing. It's just the word for stairs.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's just like the town of Escalera.
That's
like, there's probably a meaning behind that. There's probably some sort of Easter egg in there.
Exactly. There probably is something, but it's just funny where it's just like it sounds so exotic. It's like it's just they won't know. Just
stairs.
But similar to that, it's just like, they won't know the Irish language. Let's just put any old thing there.
Exactly that. Yeah, but that's a good one. And actually, that's the kind of thing, because I'm always looking for what I can watch, something that I can watch in the background while I'm working, so I can have it on TV. The Bear is not good for that. You do need to watch it with your eyeballs.
There are also some episodes of Buffy that you have to watch. You have to sit down.
Of course, no, I would get distracted.
Like Hush. You have to watch Hush because you can't listen to it because it's silent.
Oh, there's a whole silent episode.
There was a silent episode.
They did do a musical episode. Of course, in the 90s, all of the sitcoms had to do
Once More with Feeling.
Once More with Feeling. Yeah, although that one was in the early 2000s, but anyway.
Boys.
But that's number 2 is Buffy.
Yeah. By the way, are these in order or just this is where I'm revealing them? It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
It's not like a
one isn't Roosevelt and one isn't Lincoln. You know what I mean? We're not doing that.
It's just any 4 in any order.
Sure. Then the next one is the most recent show on my list, which is called Dark, which is a Netflix show.
I think I've heard that.
It's a German Netflix show.
Yes. A friend of mine told me this. Haven't seen it.
It is the most made for Dermot TV show ever. It's absolutely amazing. It involves time travel, which is my favorite storytelling conceit. But it does it in the best way I've ever seen time travel done in a show, and it's so good. It's so good. I can't go on about it anymore.
Is it? Did you say Netflix?
Netflix. I've already rewatched it. I'm due another rewatch. It's so good. It starts off as just seeming mystery, and then it spirals into something so much more. And so I don't want to say too much about it, but
Is there anything funny about it?
it's a very grim show.
But I think that I do need some levity sometimes.
I mean, I watch predominantly comedies. Like, I mean, you mentioned prestige stuff there that everyone's watching. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what's something that made me laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
all of our shows will make you laugh.
No, totally.
Yeah,
but I just remember like,
totally.
But I just remember even like other shows where it's just like, you mentioned they're dark or something. I just be like, yeah, but I'd rather watch something that's silly.
Or like at least a little bit of respite here and there.
Bit of whimsy.
Because the bear is quite like, it does get dark, it does get tough and like emotional and stuff.
Dark starts off with a child being abducted and gets darker
That's
from
hilarious.
there.
Fictional child, so it's okay, guys.
It's not
just
real.
relax, settle down.
You're like, it's a document. Fuck. Okay, sorry. Oh, I watch a lot of true crime. That's not funny at all.
No, that's true. Nothing to laugh about there.
No.
But for my last option, for my last choice,
what's your fourth show on your TV show Mount Rushmores?
it seems like an obvious one, but it's The Simpsons.
Yeah,
it has to be The Simpsons.
I mean, great.
I mean, like specifically first 8 seasons.
Yeah, first 10 seasons. Sure,
but I remember at the time that I watching it, I could remember thinking, "Oh, there's something wrong here." I started around season 8 or 9.
Oh no!
But the first 8 seasons of The Simpsons has molded me and people of our ilk and generations,
and a lot of Irish people as well, I think,
to such an incredible degree. And I will say, Friends has done the same.
Loads of Irish people. I mean, there was a political party.
That's right. That's true. There's an
like,
Ireland Simpsons fan Facebook group that had like whatever 100,000 followers. That was just like people sharing memes using the language of Simpsons to just share memes and post things about current affairs and news events and different things like that.
People watching Try videos, I often see in the comments will often say, "Geez, do these guys watch a lot of Simpsons, because they're making lots of Simpsons references." And you have to remember that in the 90s and some of the 2000s, there was a monoculture when the culture wasn't split into 70 billion different things, and we all watched the same things and enjoyed the same things.
On RTE2, which is one of our national broadcasting channels, whatever, they had, I think it was 5 o'clock, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2 episodes of The Simpsons, and then with
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
No, 5 o'clock.
No, because I think it was 5 o'clock. Then on Sky One had 2 episodes of The Simpsons. So I think it was possible to watch either 3 or 4 episodes of The Simpsons a day.
Yeah, at least.
That was thanks to syndication or whatever. Yeah. And so literally you would just get home and you'd put on The Simpsons.
It on, yeah.
And
same with Friends, like on Dave.
Yeah.
And then it was E4.
Like, I don't know, I watched a lot of Friends, but I just don't know if it hooked into me the way, or like
really
as much as like say The Simpsons would.
Blah mentioned Ken Reid's podcast, TV Guidance Counselor. When I was on that, I spoke about how much I think Friends has infected the culture at large in terms of language, in terms of humor, in terms of relationships, genuinely modern relationships. Genuinely, I think Friends has had a huge effect on the culture like that. So like, if someone wants to put Friends on Mount Rushmore, no arguments.
Oh, totally.
Zero arguments.
I fully agree.
And that's a show, like, not in order, but I have seen every episode, I'd say maybe 20 times.
Easily for me.
Easily.
I watch it, so I love it.
I'd
say you guys would do better at Simpsons trivia. I would do well at Friends trivia.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I think I'd be pretty good at Friends trivia, to be honest with you.
Whatever, man. We're on the same team.
Like, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
It's literally a tattoo of Lisa Simpson during her whatever phase.
The summer of 4'2". Isn't that the name?
Summer of 4'2".
The summer of 4'2". Christina Ricci's in that episode.
So I guess you would do better at Simpsons trivia than Friends trivia.
Well, no, I'm a big friend. I'm a big Friends
trivia in general.
I'm a big Friends trivia fan as well.
I remember all of the lyrics to all of the songs of the Simpsons up to I'd say probably season 8.
If you want me to do See My Vest right now, I will do it right now.
I will do every single word, every single lyric.
I knew how to do the Bartman.
I saw a Spanish guy doing the Bartman.
What was I going to say? But like I really think Irish people in their 30s and 40s, I think their humor was molded in large part by The Simpsons, Friends, and Father Ted. Those 3 comedy shows, I think, had the most influence on I'd say most people we know.
Yeah.
Father Ted did bypass me while it was on.
But that would be again
I'm
be
a black book gal.
the first 8 seasons of The Simpsons it's perfect.
It's golden,
there are some when we're talking about like great art. Some of those episodes are just unimpeachably great art.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. I know the majority of The Simpsons is not good.
No, but
I will say that I will say this about those.
They really ate with the first 8.
But this is this thing because I've complained about the last 20 years of The Simpsons for the last 20 years. But I feel bad about that because a lot of people who work on those shows are actually funny people.
Yeah.
Really talented, funny people.
And I think there are some standout things. There's probably 1 or 2 episodes per season that you could go, actually, that was actually pretty solid or pretty good.
No, I mean, for me, no. All right. Let me
elaborate. No,
I do care to elaborate. What I mean is that I totally get what you're saying there, and you're right. But for me, I can't enjoy them because of those first 8 seasons. I literally can't enjoy them. I think that the problem I have with it though is simply because the first 8 seasons of The Simpsons were written by some of the greatest comedy writers of all time, who were drawing off their own likes and experiences and thoughts on the world.
Yeah.
Whereas the last 20 years of The Simpsons are written by people who love The Simpsons, who grew up with those first 8 seasons, and therefore it feels like the show has folded back in on itself. Homer used to be just a lovable doofus, but then he became, because of like the influence of South Park and Family Guy and stuff, like meaner sort of comedy. Homer then became an asshole, just an unimpeachable asshole. But he used to just be a doofus who didn't know any better, and just would, even when he was an asshole, he didn't mean to be. But now he's just an asshole. Simpsons in its heyday was able to be cynical, heartwarming, and those are 2 things that are very hard to do in any brand of the arts, and it's just incredible. Yeah, those are my top 4.
Very good. You see now I'm wanting to add cartoons. Also, I need to change my whole Mount Rushmore to just be like Shameless UK, Shameless US. Because Shameless is so good as well. I can't believe that I forgot about those.
Arrested Development. We mentioned Arrested Development earlier.
I mean,
I think that's perfect as well.
It's so good. But now you see, this is the problem, is that then when people start talking about other stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this one. It made me remember that everything that I named was American. I was like, oh, I should probably throw it. Now, in fairness, I suppose Succession is technically British made. Then there's Ireland. Come on, lads, we make great television.
America. This is the thing about it though. America, for all its ills and all that sort of stuff, makes the best TV.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world is trying to emulate America when it comes to TV.
I guess
the best of American TV.
I guess.
Now they also make some of the worst TV in the world, but that's because they make so much.
Yes, but higher volume. Yeah,
the best TV is American. I'm not ashamed to say it. Hey, Colin, what's your Mount Rushmore?
Hey, thanks for asking, Dermot. Well, number 1 on my TV show Mount Rushmore. This is not in any order. This is just whatever. But number 1 is Arrested Development.
Ooh,
yes,
there you go.
I think this is just a show that really made me appreciate comedy writing, just because of how densely packed every episode is, like full of jokes. So I know there's obviously, we mentioned The Simpsons, we mentioned Friends, like shows that are like obviously very like strong in its writing, full of jokes. I mean, Friends is literally like a show that is just like, even if you don't get one joke, you're onto the next. But I just loved Arrested Development when I was growing up. My brother showed it to me, and it was just like, oh, there's this new show, blah, blah, it's so good. And also at the time, it was at a threat of cancellation and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, every season.
So it was like, being a fan of a show like that is always hard when you're just like, but it's so good. If other people just watched it, like
that's another one that's like weird.
Yeah,
it's like it's not just funny, and it is like the jokes per minute it's amazing. Yeah. But it's like, it's so silly.
It is.
but it's also in a way kind of like the David Lynch approach as well. Like Mitch Hurwitz is kind of like David Lynch in that, like, I'm going to layer so many jokes into this thing, and you just have to pay attention. If you don't get them, tough.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're going in there, and they're going to be in. It's
and that
phenomenal.
is Succession.
There's so many callbacks. There's so many called forwards in that show that when you rewatch it, you're like, oh my god, because you're like thinking of a thing from season 2 or 3. You're like, oh my god, it's like there's so many lared jokes in that show.
I have a big defense of the season 4 that Netflix did, that a lot of people think is bad, and even some of the actors in it thought it wasn't good. But
I thought it was fine. Like,
I didn't take to it.
I admire, because Mitch Hurwitz, before it came out, he said, I wanted to do something with the format. Yeah. And so if you can skip between episodes willy nilly, that's how I'm going to construct the jokes. Yeah. And so I don't think it was always successful, but the mere fact that he was able to try that,
Yeah.
I couldn't get my head around how he even began to plan that.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, I must rewatch this now.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
I know, Arrested Development is, I can't believe this. Give me another mountain, goddammit.
Oh, yeah, it's too hard.
Yeah. It's so good. But
also, special mention, I forgot to mention Cheers, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, Cheers.
I forgot to mention Cheers. Cheers is a perfect comedy. Give it a watch right now. The first episode went out in 1982. The pilot of Cheers is arguably the greatest piece of television ever made.
Cool.
Please tell me Cheers is your next choice.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
But following that is a show that had some Arrested Development writers on it, was the show Community.
Oh, of course.
Which I'm aware that the journey of that show is tumultuous for many reasons. As Pete Holmes would say, scandal noted.
So we're moving on.
We can cut that bit out.
We're moving on. That's fine. I just want to get my glare down the camera reserved for Dan Harmon.
Oh, listen, the showrunner of Buffy is also very problematic these
That's
days.
true.
Yeah, there's lots of problematic people,
Yeah.
probably in all the shows that we mentioned today. Yeah, I just think the first 3 seasons of that show are just perfect television. You know, I mentioned that Arrested Development was a show like my brother showed me, but this is probably one of the first shows that like when I watched it, I like sort of felt like it was like, oh, it was my show.
Oh, that's
Or like,
good.
do you know what I mean?
Yep.
There's so many great episodes, obviously, like the paintball episodes, the D&D episodes, the sort of documentary episodes they did. They did a whole episode that was like in the style of like retro video games.
I didn't know any of that.
They did a
Very
stop
nice.
motion. It's the stop motion animated
Christmas episodes,
Christmas
yeah.
episode.
The stop motion Christmas episode.
Now I have to watch it.
It's-
I'm gonna stream it for free.
It's genuinely like the first 3 seasons are perfect. And we mentioned Arrested Development there being a show that was a threat of cancellation. Community was one of those things as well that, like, you know, it was cancelled, it was fought back by
It was on the bubble, as they say.
exactly, on the bubble. You mentioned Lost, how you were like in fan forums and stuff like that. This sort of aired in, I guess, late 2000s, early 10s. That like
2009 it started.
yeah, it was in the era of like, you know, the height of like things like Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit and stuff like that. So I was like deep in the community subreddit and stuff like that.
Community, if you
The
will.
Community.
Was just like mad into that. I mentioned the 8-bit video game thing that they did for that episode. Fans made a playable version of the game from the
That's
show.
right.
And I remember
Yeah.
just being like, this is insane. Like being a fan of Community at the time was obviously, like I said, a very rocky road to just like follow the show. But like the people who loved it just really loved it. And I just think it was like so good to be watching the show when it was
Amen.
out. So for that,
And that's a Donald Glover.
Donald
Yep.
Glover,
Yeah.
yeah. Childish Gambino.
Absolutely great.
Yeah,
And
fantastic. Everyone's great in that show.
I
Joel
wonder-
McHale, Alison Brie, Jenny Pudi,
I
Yvette Nicole
wonder-
Brown,
Even Chevy Chase.
even Chevy Chase.
And Gillian Jacobs.
Oh,
And
of
Gillian
course,
Jacobs. So, yeah,
Jim
so-
Rash.
Yeah, and Jim
Ken
Rash.
Jeong.
Ken Jeong, yeah.
And Neil.
Real Neil with the pipes of steel.
Exactly.
Number 3 of my Mount Rushmore, which is a show that we have talked about a lot, and I did wonder would you
If I'd been on mine.
if it was on yours or even something in this category of show would be mine. But mine third one.
See, this is the thing.
My
I know
third
what
one
you're
is-
saying. I know what
my
you're
third
saying.
one is-
No, before you, I wasn't sure. This thing, I kept it as scripted stuff,
Yeah,
or like
it's just a
narrative
TV
stuff.
show. It's a TV
That's
show.
it. That's fair enough,
So
yeah.
my third one is
It's football.
no.
I'm sorry.
My third one is Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
Okay.
I love American late night talk shows, and I think Conan O'Brien is the absolute goat. I think he's number one, top spot, off camera. Me and Dermot have talked extensively about our love for Conan O'Brien. I know you're also a big fan of David Letterman. Here in Ireland, we have the Late Late Show, not to be confused with the CBS Late Late Show. Ours is it's the second longest running talk show in the world behind the American Tonight Show.
I believe
and
that's
it's
correct.
the longest running live talk show. And that show, obviously, there's serious interviews, there's comedy bits and things like in that. But typically, I would regard that show as like mostly a serious kind
It's
of
a
show.
magazine show.
Yeah,
it's a magazine show.
It's a
and
variety
it
show.
can-
It's a bit
it
of
can-
everything.
It can be a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Kind
whereas,
of sometimes feels like a morning show in the nighttime.
Yes, whereas the American late night talk show is very much its own specific thing that
Yeah.
no other
Yeah.
country has.
Totally.
Every other country tries to emulate it and just literally can't do it.
So I think for me, I think it was 9 when I first saw Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and when I
Why is that bear masturbating?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just like, this just felt like a cartoon, like a real life cartoon, because everything I'd seen before that was just like serious interviews. I know, and maybe there'd be one or two funny things along the way, but this was just like a just full on cavalcade of madness that like you didn't know who was going to pop out at any moment, because it's just full of like sketches and crazy characters. Every bit of that show was just like a delight, because you never knew what was going to happen. A few years down the line, when the writer's strike happened, they took a break, but then NBC made him come back without his writers and was like, okay, if you want me to do this, the show is going to be terrible. Like, I'm just like, it's not going to be the same show. But then what it ended up just being was just sort of like raw, unadulterated Conan.
What it ended up being was what he's doing now in his podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Conan O'Brien has no friends.
It needs a friend.
Needs a friend.
Yeah. That was a first draft title, I think.
Yeah.
I said that for our generation of people in this country, how Simpsons, Friends, and Father Ted were such a huge influence on our sense of humor. For me personally, add those three, but then add David Letterman and Conan O'Brien. Yeah. They probably had a huge effect on not only my sense of humor, but also my personality.
Yeah.
Genuinely. As in,
wow, so they've got a lot to answer for.
Yes. Yes.
Get Conan O'Brien on the phone. You need to yell at him.
David Letterman used to be sort of just like very depressed and self-deprecating. And Conan is as well, but tries to hide it through a more jolly facade, whereas David Letterman didn't.
I'd be the Conan O'Brien to your David Letterman.
I
think that's a way of putting that.
Yeah, generally, yeah. Whereas now in his 70s, David Letterman is trying to better himself as a human being, even though he was an asshole in the past. And I'm kind of trying to do the same.
I feel like you're good now, and now you're trying to be an asshole in the present.
No. Yeah, exactly. That is how I feel. No, you're like, and I aim to be.
No, I've been a terrible person. I'm a terrible person.
I do obviously have the Simpsons reference for Conan O'Brien. Always sticks in my head, which is Only I May Dance.
Conan O'Brien was a Simpsons writer.
Yeah.
Well, then I have a feeling I know what your fourth one could be then, maybe.
You know what my fourth TV show is?
Yes, I think I know what your fourth t-shirt is. Sorry, TV show is.
What? Well, you might be right, because my fourth show is Saturday Night Live. God damn it. No show has been, I think, as part of the cultural zeitgeist for as long. I mean, obviously, SNL has gone on for 51 years. So I just think it's phenomenal. I think it's an amazing launch pad for comedians and musicians. It's just had its finger on the pulse for so long. People that we see in shows and movies now are just like, maybe have gotten their start on SNL, whether it's either on the writing staff or acting and sketches. It's just been phenomenal. And there's just no show does it like that. I mean, we talked about the World Cup at the start. I feel like SNL is my sports in the sense it's like I watch every episode, follow every season. I'm like, oh, who are the new players this season? I mean, I know we have bonded over it. I don't know if you watch every single episode, every single sketch, but you watched the sort of like mid 2000s,
90s even. I started watching it in the 90s. Yeah, I used to stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning watching it on UTV. Yeah, and it wasn't the one that was on like that week. It was like from a year before or whatever. So I was just watching because I loved it. But and everyone has their own era cast that they love in time and era. They love.
My body pillow's name is Pete Davidson. It was when he was dating Kim K. It was funny at the time. SNL has always been an interesting one for me because I haven't really watched it. I have seen lots of sketches from it. Yeah. Obviously just online in the zeitgeist. And obviously as well I revere the comedy writers and the graft and so on. And again, now another honourable mention should be Hacks, where you kind of like, that gives you a look behind the curtain. That was so good. Hey, it's very like well known in comedy land that like to get on a show like this would be a big break, but also be very, very tough. It's really, really, you have to be very hard working.
Schedule, all that,
Exactly. And so I can recognize it. But then there is also, and I'm not saying that this is necessarily how I feel, there is also kind of a attitude of like it's hacky to a lot of comics that don't want to do I don't know, improv and sketch comedy. They're just kind of like they're stand-ups. You know, so there is a lot of that kind of or maybe it's even that it's too like Joe Soap maybe or something like that. You know,
that's true. The thing about SNL is that a huge percentage of it is garbage. But that's going to happen if you're going to put a live show on every week. That's going to happen, and then a lot of it is incredible. Amazing, and then when it's top tier, it's like this. It's about the best.
And they still do. Like from what I've seen, pulling that together in a week is absolutely crazy. You know, so I do definitely admire it myself on that kind of level. But I just know that there is that attitude out there.
But then there's also stand-up comedians who just think that, you know, people in improv should be put into a fire. I think there's lots of snobbishness and sneeriness in comedy in general.
All sides, all kinds.
Yeah.
It's put together in a week. It's insane. I was very lucky to be in the audience for an episode. That's where I got this T-shirt.
You got the T-shirt.
I went to New York for Kelly's birthday. And yeah, we won the ticket lottery, SNL ticket lottery. I don't know what person at NBC Universal read my email and went, yep, but dear God, thank you. And yeah, I saw the Finn Wolfhard ASAP Rocky episode. And yeah, it was just insane. But you're talking about like, you're sitting there in the crowd and you're just watching it all happen.
Yeah, that'll be... Sets
being like put together, torn apart. It all comes together in just like a matter of minutes.
That'll be amazing.
And seeing this all happen, you're just like, this is electric. You see so many sketches or you watch a full episode and you go, oh, okay, grand. But you're just watching the in-between of it all that you're just like, this is a truly like just a mammoth undertaking. When you watch it all come together, you're like, that was incredible.
It'd be like someone coming into the Try office and watching us do a shoot and they'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
Cannot believe what goes into this.
Yeah,
I think baby hours is a little bit slower.
They're drunker than I thought they'd be, and they haven't even started shooting yet.
Yeah. In fairness, that's a really, really good point because I do, again, I like working in TV, having always wanted to work in TV and still like climbing the ladder in a very, I'm going to be stressed for another 30 years kind of way. That would be really, like seeing how the sausage gets made and being electrified by it and seeing how electrified these people are. Even though, like, this is the thing, is that my thing for, like, right now is, like, when I'm stressed at work, that I'm kind of going, I've wanted to do this since I was very, very young. I want to keep advancing in it. But it's just very tough when sometimes I don't get time to smell the roses to appreciate the fact that I am doing it. And so, that, like, I guess that's the thing. I would just worry that they don't get the time to smell the roses. But it would be fantastic for me to, like, that is how I would like to spend my day off, going and seeing how other people aren't allowed to smell the roses. No, I'm only joking. As in, like, yeah, that whole, the fast pacedness of it and the passion that goes into it and everything like that, it would really light a fire in me. So yeah, that's class.
Four comedy shows.
I know, I did pick all comedies, but much like we were saying earlier, it's like that's when I want to watch something. It's like ultimately I'd rather just sit down and laugh and have a laugh.
Yeah.
But I suppose, honorable mentions would be like, Breaking Bad, 30 Rock, Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt, Parks and Rec, The Office, It's Always Sunny, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Barry, Hacks, Veep, The Good Place, Bob's Burgers, BoJack Horseman, Archer, Severance, Nathan For You, The Rehearsal, How To with John Wilson, Taskmaster, Make Some Noise, Very Important People, and Game Changer. But that's just to name a few. I can only put 4 on the Mount Rushmore, guys.
See,
Come
now
on.
it's not fair because I didn't know we could do it.
We didn't get to write down a list.
Well,
honorable mentions.
You could have had notes on your phone or something.
God.
You're a poo-poo face. I'm glad. See, Taskmaster was on there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did say Taskmaster.
Game Changer on there.
I would probably put Taskmaster on.
I'm putting Richard Osman Says Games on there.
Sure, yeah.
Obviously. Game Changer is so good that not only do I want to be on it, but I made like an Irish language version, not an Irish language version of it. We did do our own thing with it.
You did just say a game show.
I did a game show that was very
that
where it was like it's going to be different games and that I don't tell the contestants and they are comedians. So it was inspired by, very much heavily inspired by, because I love it so much and I've added it to. Because like there's a while where as a comedian I'm like, if I get on these shows, I'll be fine. You can kill me. So like Taskmaster, Mr. Mrs. Who with? Who cares? Okay. Taskmaster, Richard, Osmond House of Games, and now Game Changer would be up there for me as well. And then there's true crime, and then cartoons like Big Mouth is in there. Big Mouth is on your list.
No, I don't think it's in, but it should be in there. Should have been in there. I said there's no show like Saturday Night Live, but also there's SNL UK. Which is also phenomenal. Just an honorable mention to SNL UK. Because yes, I've basically enjoyed series 1 of that. And I can't wait for series 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I did hear on a podcast that was, to be honest, kind of like shitting on it a little bit. But I heard the Irish, your granddad.
What kind of Irish is
Granddad by George Fouracres.
I like from the sounds of it, I thought it was okay. And it also was a very good Irish accent.
I'm so glad I was wrong about that. I said that thing was going to tank. Not that it was going to be bad, just that it was going to tank because it was on Sky 1 and no one's going to watch it.
There was just a lot of shit online of being like, is this going to work? I don't even know. What's it? And I was so glad when I was just watching it each week was just like, this is class. And it's like, they're definitely taking inspiration from the US one, but doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this works. It wasn't even like, oh, this is going to take a few episodes. It was just like, from the first episode, I was just like, oh, this is perfect. Like,
I should check that one out, actually. I suppose if that one's like, that's closer to home. Obviously not homegrown, but it's the closest to home.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should be supporting stuff like that.
I guess you. But that is our TV show Mount Rushmores. Who had the best one? Let us know. We'll be right back with one more segment after this. And welcome back to the final part of the podcast. What we're going to be doing in this segment, guys, is sharing our least impressive celebrity story. And then we're all going to vote on who we think had the least claim to fame. So who would like to... Dermot, how about you go first?
Want me to go first?
It is tough because I feel like we've all three of us met a lot of celebrities.
I suppose we have. I mean, you guys might have met more than I have. But that being said, yes.
Yeah, especially since I worked in a 5-star hotel. So I met a lot of celebrities that way. And also the rules are unclear to me because I'm like, okay, if it's the least impressive, it still has to be a little bit impressive. It can't just be I saw someone, right? It has to. There has to be some kind of interaction.
Yeah, interaction. I guess. Okay. I can't just.
Oh, so because like I once fell asleep on a movie set and woke up and Jeremy Irons was just standing over me, kind of lurching over me a bit. It wasn't talking to me, didn't talk to him, so I didn't meet him. But it was just. Have you ever woken up and Jeremy Irons is sort of lurching over you?
Are you sure that you were just dreaming?
No,
you were like,
no, because he was doing something else in my dream.
Oh.
Then when I woke up, he wasn't doing it anymore.
But what is your?
Okay, well, see, this is the thing. Okay, I'll tell this story. Why don't I tell this story? I can tell this story.
Go ahead.
Because it kind of ends badly. You know the story well. I've told the story online. I was going to save this for when I was on Colin O'Brien Needs a Friend, but I'm never going to be on it, so I'll just tell it now.
Yeah, also, you could still tell the story again.
No, once it's online, then it belongs to the trip to the green room.
I'm sure I've seen Colin tell the same story. Pretty
sure if you go on a talk show, the talk show owns that story now, so I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But anyway, I was in New York in 2012. I was there with my good friend Joe. Hey Joe, shout out Joe. He's a big fan of the show. And we were over in America, and we were visiting our friend Owen over there. And Owen was working during the day, so we just go exploring New York. And I was getting pretty tired at one point. And then I said, "Hey, you know what? I know that David Letterman, who I'm a huge fan of, I know that he records the show around this time. And I know Conan's on the show today. Conan O'Brien is on the show today. He's a guest. So why don't we head down to like the Ed Sullivan Theatre and see if we can stand outside where they come out of the building and see if we can see Conan. That'd be great because he's a huge Conan fan too. So we went down the lane beside the theatre. I think it's the Bill Murray door where they come out. I can't remember, but huge throng of people was there to see anyone that was on the show coming out, and we were way at the back. And so of course Conan comes out and he's like, wow, oh my God, there's Conan. It's incredible. And so Joe has his camera on him, like an actual camera, not a phone, just like an actual camera. Digital and so camera. Like he's so far away though, Joe has to zoom in to even get a look at him. It's just like, what are we going to do? We need to get his attention somehow. So he shouted, "Hey Conan, we're your cousins from Ireland." To which he responds, "I wouldn't brag about that." Incredible. So we have that little interaction with them. Like, and if that's all it was, then brilliant. I'd be happy enough. But then he actually says to everyone around him, he's signing autographs, he goes, "Okay, sorry guys, I got to get to these guys." And he makes his way all the way down to us.
Of course. I mean, you said you're Irish.
And because he said, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "Hey, well, where in Ireland are you from?" So like I've been interviewed by Conan O'Brien.
Amazing. This is quite impressive.
So Joe gets, Conan gets in the middle. I'm here. Conan's here. Joe's there. And Joe takes a selfie with his camera. I was like, "This is incredible. We got a picture with Conan O'Brien. This is amazing." And we were just in a daze. And then he went off. And then we walked off. And I said, "Hey, Joe, let me see that picture." And I have it here now. If you could do a favor, and
is it not Conan O'Brien?
Audio listeners, if you're listening to the audio version of this, please go to the video on YouTube because here's the kicker to that. This was the picture.
As in, like, that's
my friend Joe. That's Conan O'Brien, and I'm here somewhere. Because, as I said before, he had to zoom in, and did he forget? He forgot to zoom out on his camera.
And he was trying to do a selfie.
Quick, I don't blame Joe at all. It was on a mistake, and frankly, it's a better story if it comes out like
funny,
that.
Yeah.
But that's how I got my picture taken with Conan O'Brien, and that I didn't.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's funny because you said least impressive.
I did say least impressive.
And so now this just felt like one of those rounds of never have I ever, where the person just keeps drinking every time to show that they have actually done the thing. I have lots of impressive stories. One time when I was in London, we went to see Waiting for Godot. And you know the way that you can get the tickets online or you can get them on the street or whatever. We had found some discount way to get them. So I believe that they were like £18 each or something like that. And who was it that was playing the two hobos in Waiting for Godot, but Ian McKellen
And Patrick Stewart.
and Patrick Stewart. Just accidentally went and saw that, but that's impressive. Like, that's good.
Hold on, did you meet them?
No, but it's still impressive that, like, I just accidentally saw two of the biggest, like, the heaviest hitter. Paul Rudd held the door open for me once.
That's better.
He's a nice guy.
That's better.
He's a nice Paul Rudd. Reach out.
But yes, what I mean,
like a non-impressive one.
yeah, least impressive celebrity story. Would you like me to go and then I can?
Sure.
So yes, my story. I'm really bad for like dates and when things happened, but I think this would be like late 90s, maybe early 2000s. So this might be one of my earliest brushes with fame, which was me and my family went to go see a game of snooker played by Jimmy White and Steve Davis.
Sure.
Who are British pool players. They're like, would be at the height of their success at this time. So we went to the Goffs snooker venue. I think it's in Naas or just outside Naas. So we went to see this game played. It was like, oh my God, wow. Because we've obviously grown up, you watch a lot of snooker on TV. And you're like, oh, wow, we're watching a real game. The match was being commentated by George Hamilton, who is like a long time sports commentator here in Ireland.
Not the really tanned actor for anyone listening or watching.
Yes, we're talking about Irish broadcaster George Hamilton. But my brother, he loves like news and journalism. You know my brother. Yes.
Nice guy.
Nice guy. And but yeah, my brother, he loved news and journalism. So when he was like, oh my God, there's George Hamilton. And he got a photo with George Hamilton. He's like, wow, I can't believe I met the guy from, the news and the whatever. But after the game of snooker, there was like a crowd waiting to see Jimmy White and Steve Davis walk back from the game. I think just back to their dressing rooms or whatever. But we were at the front, we were at the barrier, and I see Steve Davis walking by, and I'm like, oh my God, the Steve Davis. I was like, and I reach in my pocket and I take out a stick of gum and I give it to Steve Davis, and he just goes, thanks, mate. And he walks into his dressing room. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what age I was. I must have been like 8 or something. Being like, oh my God, I just gave Steve Davis a stick of gum. Oh my God. So
that's
think about
cute.
that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so there you
that's
go.
nice.
That's really nice.
Because now it's just turning into like, okay, it's not impressive if you ended up looking a fool after. And I don't like that,
No.
When I met Robert Sheehan for the first time, because my friend, an old good friend of mine, her uncle is Aidan Gillan. And so he was obviously in Love Hate with Robert Sheehan. And when I met, we met him when I guess, again, we were either like late teens, early 20s or whatever when we met him. And I was like, oh my God. Like, Love Hate, put that on there.
On your Mount Rushmore.
on my Mount Rushmore. Why not? But we were really, really excited, and I was like, oh my God. And he went, hi, I'm Robert, nice to meet you. And I went, I know who you are. And so that's just me being unimpressive, but it's not.
It's just your least like claim to fame, So that's the thing. It's like me being like whatever 8, being like, this is a famous snooker player. What do I do? Here's a stick of gum. And he just went like, yeah, thanks, mate.
I was gonna say that, like, I suppose this isn't really brush with celebrity, but this is a very basically. There was one time we were all out on Tri-Channel night, and I was walking along with Donal Sharpson, having a nice old chat. Like, we went to school together. We know each other. He's a good guy. Walking along chatting, and then someone noticed us and goes, "Oh my God, are you from the Tri-Channel?" And they're very clearly talking to Donal, right? And he goes, "Yeah." And like, I mean, everybody else is around, but kind of has moved on, whereas I'm the one walking with Donal. It's like, "Are you from the Tri-Channel?" And Donal goes, "Yeah." And I'm not going yeah as well. I'm just like,
what am I chatting about?
Yeah, but I am. I'm just kind of like, this is nice when this happens. And your man hands me his phone and goes, "Can you take a picture of us?" So there's that.
That's pretty
the
good.
Celebrity Donal Sharpson.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, snubbed.
Right, so who do you think has the least claim to fame then? So we're going with my stick of gum story, your lack of selfie with Conan O'Brien, or we're going with
Donal, I suppose.
You're going with Donal getting snubbed by a Tri-Channel fan.
It's the fact that Donal is the celebrity in mine. Well, I still think your stick of gum story is quite, but it's not. I think it's sweet.
I know. I think it's a nice story, but I just think it's the least. It's like the least. It's not like, oh, I got a selfie with someone, or like, oh, I got an autograph from blah blah. It's just like, I gave a snooker player a stick of gum, and he just went, thanks, mate. I just walked
Yeah.
on.
I mean,
That's he should have done a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
He should have
I don't-
autographed
Oh,
it.
thank you. Oh,
Thank you,
my
little
God.
orphan child.
famously known as a deeply boring man.
There you go. There you go.
Whereas the crux of my thing doesn't even exist.
Exactly. Like
That's true.
maybe yours
So-
is the least impressive because we don't even
There's
know
no-
if
no
that
proof
really
it happened.
happened.
Yeah. That's
True. Well, there's no proof any of our stories happened because we could.
Well, there's probably a picture
What
of
if-
Donald and that guy.
I want to pick Blah as the winner because I like the way she got slightly humiliated at the moment.
got snubbed by a
I'm
Tri-Channel
happy to
fan.
pick
And
that
don't
one.
worry, I was
I
fine
know.
with it. But
It's just a funny,
kinda
a funny thing at the moment.
It
Yeah.
was just very like, oh, okay. I
But
see.
also, it just humbled you a little. There's nothing wrong with that.
A Tri fan once commented on a video that was like, I'm just back from a week in Ireland. I met Darren from the Tri Channel and we talked about whiskey for a long time. I also saw Colin, but he looked quite miserable. Maybe you just finished, as in like, they didn't stop and chat to me, but just saw me in town. It's like, he looked quite miserable. Maybe you just got finished doing a really bad Tri shoot. And I'm like,
Oh my
no,
God.
that's just my face.
That's the face, guys.
That's just
that is the face.
when I'm just not talking to anyone, I'm just like walking headphones on. I'm just like, yeah, I just got resting sad face or resting miserable face, I guess.
Yeah.
But then when I see someone, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
But until then, I'm just conserving all my energy until I have to interact with another human being.
You're like those Ryan Carrick videos of him walking, seeing people,
Exactly.
and then
Yes.
smiling.
Yes.
Ryan Carrick's
yeah,
very
yes.
funny.
Yes, he actually got mentioned in the last podcast I hosted.
Okay, well, take that
so,
out then.
yeah.
I don't want him to get
Yeah.
too much credit for anything,
Jesus. Your videos are very good and all.
They're very
Puh.
good. They
We're not going to
are.
be mentioning you all the time on
It
the
is
podcast,
annoying.
right?
They
2
are
mentions
very
is
good,
enough.
Yeah. And Ross. We love Ross.
Well, that does it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you to our wonderful guest, Bláithín de Dermot. Guys, where can people find you? Bláithín, we'll start with you.
Just being blah on Instagram, and I mean I'm on TikTok, but I don't really do much there, so there's no point in getting me there. Instagram is the place to do it.
Dermot, what social media can people find you on?
At Chismond on Instagram, I guess.
Nice.
Also, can I say a shout out to Nora from Singapore? She we were talking about interaction with Tri fans there. I met her on the train a couple of weeks ago, and she was very, very nice.
Ah, that's lovely.
And apparently she travelled to Ireland because of this channel.
Oh,
There you go.
So nice.
well, thank you very much,
We
Nora.
love
I'm very, very,
we love
very
all the
kind.
fans. We do.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, that just about does it for another episode here of The Green Room. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you next week for a brand new episode of The Green Room. Bye-bye now.